Adrian, thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you here talking about Hay Festival and all of your kind of career background, which I gather is, a bit meandering, which is fantastic. It just goes to show that whatever you start with isn't necessarily what you will end up doing. Um,
Absolutely.
do you want to start by introducing yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about Hay Festival, please.
Yeah, sure. My name's Adrian Lambert, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Hay Festival, which is a arts and literature festival based in Hay on Wye, which is a small border town right on the border between England and Wales. It's been going for 38 years now, and we have a regular festival, 11-day festival every year that's held in Hay on Wye. Attracts over 100,000 people to it every year, and we have anything and anything on our stages. So it ranges from huge authors like Margaret Atwood to comedians like Eddie Izzard or Al Murray this year. Chris McCausland's coming this year. To bands come and play, to political figures, to thought, to people that in thought leadership. So a whole range of different people come to Hay and speak on our 7 or 8 stages every year. And we also have festivals in Colombia, Mexico, Peru. We've had festivals in Ireland as well. And Spain. So we operate globally, right across the world, and hundreds of thousands of people go to our festivals every year. My role as Chief Operating Officer is part of the senior management team for Hay, with a particular focus, I guess, more for Hay Wales rather than some of the international events, but I'm also involved in those. And really, it's about our kind of strategic and production direction, really. So I have a responsibility for looking at the strategic direction of the organization, make sure operationally we're doing what we said we're going to do. So in terms of Hay, where we have to put up a big tented village every year, is making sure we get all those stages put up, all the right things in place, like the bars, the restaurants, the stages, the lighting, the technicals, all sorts of different things, really. To really taking an involvement also in some of our public funding as well that we get from the Arts Council of England. So I take a role in developing applications, looking at how we can continue to evolve and develop our offer, really, and our offer particularly to young people, and attracting young dynamic talent to things like Hay Festival, so they can get the exposure they need to our kind of our audiences. So lots of different things. We wear lots of different hats. I think there's lots of people doing cultural industries. You start in one place, but you very rare, you end up in lots of others.
I think that is such a good point to take away from here. I mean, like, what a dynamic business to be part of, and your
Mm.
role as well. Like, you get to kind of look across everything that's happening and have a say in it, which is very exciting, I imagine. No day.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely, it really is, and I guess again that's pretty much like with my career. I've worked in. I started off in theatre. I've worked in film, education, radio, community arts, community filmmaking, and now in events. So, and it's very, very different.
When you were at school, did you have any
Mm.
idea that you could be doing something like this, that a business like Hay Festival existed?
Yeah, not at all really. I mean, when I went to school, I went to a big secondary comprehensive school in Birmingham, right next to the M5, M6 motorway. It's not there anymore, actually. It's called something else. Um, and back in those days, arts education at schools was really rich. And we had, for that kind of school, we had 2 orchestras at that school. We had a drama department, music department, things that sort of don't seem to exist anymore. Um, and I wasn't academic at school at all. I enjoyed school. I had a good time at school, but I wasn't really academic. But my main passion was drama, and I really enjoyed drama, and that's what I kind of threw myself into. And I wanted really to be an actor and performer, and which seemed like a bit of a dream. And I think the careers officers kept trying to make me go into retail. Essentially, every time I went to see a careers officer, said I want to go and I want to be an actor. They said, "Have you ever thought of a job working in Marks and Spencers?" And that's as far as my career advice went when I was at school. But I was really determined to do it, and left school. I left school with one qualification in the end, so I had to retake them, and so I did that, and then went on to do FE courses, further education courses, and I guess like we call, I guess BTECs now in in theatre, and then I went to a college to do a degree, and I was the first member of my family ever to do a degree. I got a massive extended family in Birmingham, Coventry. No one had done a degree in my family, so it was really quite unusual. I never thought I'd do that, to be perfectly honest, and do an academic course. So to find myself in a job like 35 years later, where I've done all these different things, ended up working for the BBC and made films and theatre and all sorts of things. I never really thought that kind of existed really. And we my wife works in the same way. We met at college actually, and we kind of work in the same industry. And we've had some highs and lows where we've earned very little money, but wanted to make the work we wanted to make, which was critical to us as artists when we first left college. Um, so there are things like Hay. I mean, when I was at school, they didn't exist. The festivals haven't started like Hay then, and obviously there are thousands of opportunities out there now for young people to get involved in stuff like this. And the side of the industry, any side of the creative industries, from film, television, theatre, events, festivals, that's a whole array of different opportunities you can get involved in. I mean, it's not just the going on stage, or that can be the brilliant bit if you want to do that. If that's you want to be a performer, then great, But behind every performer on stage, there are hundreds of people who get them there, and that's anyone from people like me are involved in now organising the infrastructure to make sure those things are in place, to getting the funding to pay the performers or pay the people to get on stages, to when it comes to the actual event, the technical people, the stage managers, the artist management, the people in the green room, the drivers driving them to we have festivals in the kind of middle of nowhere, so we're really reliant on people like that. There are a whole range of different kind of jobs and activities which you can get involved with, and also then find your way, getting experience in different those, and kind of and working your way into different things and finding out what you like and what you don't like really. So so there's lots of different things. I mean, so many different things you can get involved with, I suppose, and particularly in festivals. I think there's lots of different aspects to it.
And I do think as well, like it's worth pointing out that because there are lots of people watching who probably will still have that misconception that the creative industries, all jobs in the creative industries are very kind of badly paid, very unstable, all this stuff and it just takes a little bit of looking beyond, like you're saying, the performers, the people front of stage, look backstage. That's where there's loads of these, amazing jobs.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have I mean, we're kind of a relatively small team, so I suppose in one aspect, about 25 people full and part-time, but who are working regularly to put these festivals on, and then we employ lots of people seasonally or on 6-month contracts to do those. But yes, I think you can, there are. I mean, I regularly, I keep abreast of what's going on outside and outside of my own job and across the cultural industries, and there are lots of opportunities. Think outside the box a little bit about what it is you're trying to do and where you're trying to get there. I think if you've got an ambition to be, I don't know, the next Beyonce or next Quentin Tarantino or whatever that is, then go for that. That is, absolutely go for it. But on the way to being that next Beyonce or Quentin Tarantino, whoever you want to be, make sure you continue to look left and right at different other opportunities that might come along, which are still would use your creative skills, but perhaps not in a way in which you had originally intended. In particular, things like working with the young people, for example, or working within communities, or showing those in kind of different ways, or working in festivals in different ways. There are lots of different ways in which you can use your skills and earn a very good living doing, working in this industry. It's not to say it's not tough, and it's not to say it's not competitive, because it is, and it is all those things. So you have to go in with your eyes open about it, but always kind of seek opportunity, I think, possibly, and look around you and think that might not be the thing you first wanted to do, but certainly might be something that might lead on to something else. And even if you experience it for 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, that's a short period of time. Don't
Yeah.
panic about it, just try it. And if you don't like it, then go and do something else. But don't set yourself up to fail very quickly. Do you know what I mean? It is hard, and it's a there's a lot of people who want to try and succeed in it, but don't keep looking around. I think I'd say keep looking around.
I completely agree. And I do think that, the same rules really apply to every industry. Every industry is competitive. You're either competing
Yeah,
for clients, if you're like a tradesperson, let's say,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
or competing for, a
Yeah.
very coveted job at a finance company. The creative industries really isn't any different. And it is just a case of, like you're saying, keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Um, tell us the best bits of your job.
I think probably the most exciting is for me, I guess, because I started in a live background and theatre and performing and all that sort of stuff. It's the live event stuff, actually. It's getting to the moment of, even though it's 11 days, it's like you're putting on a big show, really. Like each day, the festival's like a big show, and you're putting on this huge show with thousands of people are coming, and you've got 7 or 8 stages that are live all day, every day, from 9 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. And it's making sure that thing works the best it possibly can. That everyone who comes and buys a ticket, and that hey, they buy tickets for individual events rather than a ticket that gets them in. It's free to come and get into the site, but you buy a ticket for each thing you want to see.
Mm.
Um, it's just exciting to see when you've seen people buying tickets online in our box office, and we can see like people obviously number of people buying tickets, hopefully, and um, I always find it fascinating on the first day, couple of days of the festival, when you see the actual people turn up. Those numbers you've just seen, suddenly turn into real live people who've all made decisions to buy a ticket, to travel to Hay, to get accommodation, to come and walk through the door. And that's really always a really exciting and fulfilling moment, I think, to see the people come. And what we're trying to do is every day that someone comes, because again, they've made that commitment, is make sure that they get the best possible experience, that the events they go to are good, that the service they get is great, be it in the box office, wherever they go, the cafes and bars and everything else, the experience is a good one. And that everyone feels who can come, it's open to everybody. And in the first 2 days of the festival, we have a free big program for schools days on our Thursday and Friday, where it's completely free, and schools from all across the country come. And on the Thursday, it's primary schools, and on the Friday, it's secondary schools. And we get about 7,000 children, young people on our site first 2 days, which is astonishing again. And the energy of those children, young people coming onto the site and going to see some fabulous events and authors and meet authors for the first time. And again, be inspired by people. I think what's really fantastic is when you see young people come, particularly to some of our events, and again, hear perhaps from an author for the first time and buy a book, perhaps get it signed by that author as well, get the chance to talk to them and get inspired themselves then to think that you can be a writer, right? Because they're jobs, right? I mean, there's lots of writers. I mean, we need people writing books, we need people writing articles, we need people writing television, we need people writing radio, we need people writing all sorts of things. And for the first time thinking, God, I could do that. That's a job, And so that's what I think excites me, is that the inspiring part of Hay, really, what it does to people who come and hear something for the first time, perhaps that they never really thought of, or come across something that they never, didn't know existed. They hear about it and go away and start thinking. Challenges them sometimes. Good, bad, bored, funny, whatever. It challenges you. And that's what the arts are all about, I think.
Oh, 100%. I would back that. That's a great point.
Mm.
And what a note to end on as well, because we have actually run out of time. Like you say, Hay Festival has school days, so I don't know if
Yeah,
there's any.
absolutely. Yeah, we have our program for schools that opens quite soon. So that's I can't think about when it's on our website, but we have other opportunities coming up. I say the Hay Academy is open until early March. People are applying to that, and if they don't get in and see it this year, then do apply next year, and that allows them to come and work with us in the event side of stuff. So working with the artists and authors, and also in our press and PR team as well, to work with those guys. And then we're going to be launching the platform as well anytime now, which again is the second year we've done this, and this is for 21 to 28-year-olds to submit their idea to bring a piece of work to the festival, which could be performance, poetry, rap, dance, whatever it is. I really don't mind. The ideas are framed by what people want to send us, really. And it was fantastic last year. We had 10 young artists come to that, and we bring you down for 2 nights, people down for 3 days. We put you up in beautiful glamping tents. You get fed really well, and we pay you as well. So that's not bad. And you get to do your bit and your show, and also in front of a Hay audience. So it's been fantastic for some of the artists who've come and did it last year. They had an absolutely brilliant time. So we're really, really chuffed to be able to do that again. And I hope to really develop that and make it a bigger opportunity, really. So fingers crossed that goes well, but do look out for that as well.
Well, we have a ultimate resources aftercare pack for schools that we're going to be sending everyone after this. So we'll make sure that the links to all of
Great,
that are
great,
included.
great.
But it's been absolutely amazing talking to you, Adrian. Thank you
Pleasure.
so much for your time. And yeah, I'm sure everyone here has learned a lot about Hay Festival events and how schools can get involved.
Great stuff. Good.
Thank you.
No problem at all.